Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. Next match, Cross-Banlist Cup. Next match here, top 16 playoffs. Right side we have the bottom match. We have only 4 years a difference between both these decks. So the first one, we have Chaos Dragons from all the way back to 2012. So that's like almost 12 years ago. It's going to take on a much older deck being OCG Zombie-Tele-Undead or Kin-Tele-Undead, however you want to call the deck. So which deck has the advantage? Interesting one. We see that the people kind of voted in favor of, again, the more recent deck being Chaos Dragons. I guess at least the most notable combo for this deck is the interaction between Light Pulsar and Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, which, by the way, is the one with the pre-errata. As you know, multiple effects, multiple copies, etc. Anyway, on the other hand, there is Kin-Tele-Undead with the also powerful continuous spell that states that every time you special summon from graveyard or from your graveyard, you get to draw a card, and Card of Safe Return is such a ridiculous card, as is Future Fusion pre-errata. So they always open Future Fusion, no? What's your experience with the deck? Like back in the day, Chaos Dragons always opened that freaking card. It is what it is. So my set, I think, is Goblin Zombie, and my hand wasn't the best. I don't think going somewhat aggressively first turn is not the correct play. Well, aggressively, I think the only play I could make was either go for Brionek or Yugioh, and again, that's not really that strong. The most important priority number one here, at least priority number one, was to survive, right? And I'm still in the duel, so let's see. Go for Teleport. And go for pre-errata Brionek. As you know, pre-errata, now you can use, or at least back in the day, you were able to use Brionek's effect multiple times during the same turn. So let's say discard one, let's see if your opponent has a response, and then discard maybe one or two, and then maybe discard another one. That is important simply because you were able, or still able, to search off of Goblin Zombie, going for a Synchro, discard the Mizuki you just searched, etc, etc. So now, like, look, this is just prime OCG Zombie, well, like Zombie-Tele-Undead from back in the day, pumping out all of those synchros. And again, one of the reasons why, I was about to say, one of the reasons why Burial from a different dimension eventually got limited? No? What was this one of the reasons? I can't really remember. Anyway, Future Fusion, always Future Fusion. It's fine though, even though 2 draws being on the left side of my hand being malicious. So again, I have to play it out passively, setting Perma-Turtle, but I do have some comeback cards. I'm looking mainly at Heavy Storm. Again, could be important for both the decks actually, again, especially post game number 1, where both decks have the capability to side deck Floodgates. Looking at Oppression, Skill Drain, Shadow Imprisoning Mirror, which is indeed set here. And so again, this Heavy Storm kind of takes it, or kind of keeps me in the duel. If it wasn't for Heavy Storm here in this game number 2, I definitely would have lost. Again, no Darks, or what is it? All Darks can activate, but their effects on field and in graveyard are negated. Something like that. And I can do pretty much the same thing as I did in game number 1, so go for Brionek, pre-errata, which again super crucial for the combo. Use Burial from a different dimension, which was a 3 back in the old school days. And I'm just going to pump out strong synchros. Colossal Fighter hits the field, which I'm not so sure. Yeah, indeed, I do have a couple of warriors. Imagine if you don't have any warriors, or if your opponent does not have any warriors in graveyard, then Colossal Fighter will just stay at 2800, which, in rare cases, could Suicide Crash here in this case against the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, but I think Malicious was there, etc. So game number 3, it's going quite easy for, OCG Zombie-Tele-Undead. No Future Fusion this time, but the combo is there. Pulsar can be, or at least Pulsar can use its effect whenever it's destroyed, right? Or sent to the graveyard, but it can miss its timing. Anyway, so go second, and that's kind of preferred, especially, I mean, here in this case going second, the skill drain wasn't really optimal, but, I mean, imagine that here in this case, Chaos Dragons was able to pump out like a big board. Things like skill drain could, keep me in the duel. And one of the most notorious combos from back in the day, even though it might be undervalued now if you take a look at it, is the notorious combo of Colossal Fighter and Skill Drain. It's especially against, or playing against a monster heavy deck, or decks that don't really play a lot of spell or trap removal. things like, or the combination of Colossal Fighter and Skill Drain is super deadly. And looking at here now, back in the day, a potential synchro play from your opponent would have been another Colossal Fighter, and things would have turned into a grind style fest. But now there was, I think, Scrap Dragon was the only level 8 synchro here in the Chaos Dragon deck. I think so. And that also wasn't really that beneficial, because again, Colossal Fighter does not get the attack boost because of Skill Drain, as I mentioned before, because of its Graveyard effect. You can reborn a warrior, reborn itself, and still attack. You know, the notorious combo of Armory Arm and Colossal Fighter. So here in this case, both decks should play some Spell and Trap Destruction, especially again the fact that we saw the Shadow Imprisoning Mirror earlier. So, you know, things like Heavy Storm, a couple of Mystical Space Typhoons should indeed be there in case of Chaos Dragons. The thing is that you still need to draw those, and okay, you could kind of stall it out a little bit with Pulsar's Destruction effect, right? Or its Graveyard effect, Reborn Dark Flare, or maybe even Red MD. But there aren't any of those in the graveyard, and Red MD is crucial because of its big attack. And then again, Colossal Fighter still, you know, face up on the field. Crashing into Red MD is still kind of ridiculous because Colossal Fighter can still attack, or could still attack if that's the case. Another Future Fusion, but it's not live. So setting 3, that's either a super sign of weakness or, nah, it's just a sign of weakness, right? So let's see if there is any form of response. Dark Flare is eventually getting met by the Goyo Guardian, which here in this case is just a big beat stick. 100 life points left. I don't think I was able to pump out another monster or another beat stick. So here in this case, I think the game is pretty much over, right? I mean, even in the previous turn. There were some Mystical Space Typhoons here in the deck in favor of in case of Chaos Dragons, but I mean the chances aren't really that high. So I guess, you know, Searching Trooper could give you more draws, more answers to potentially dig for that Spell and Trap card Destruction or Spell and Trap Destruction, but sadly wasn't the case. And this was a swift 3-0 for the deck that got the less votes. Ah yes, love the Cross-Banlist Cup. So next matchup we have Monarchs, so extra deck Monarchs, versus True King of All Calamities Turbo being Virtual World. So again, feel free to leave your predictions. Okay guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Riddim signing out. Peace.